Conversations with the Killer is back on Netflix. This time around, they're discussing Jeffrey Dahmer. So let's see if this documentary is worth your time. Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services just like Netflix. If you guys are like me, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more up and coming content. Jeffrey Dahmer is back on Netflix. Really, did he ever leave? This Netflix series is a documentary, 3 episodes. And we just had the release of the Dahmer series starring Evan Peters, which I have not seen, but I have seen a lot of clips of it on TikTok, and it is hugely popular on Netflix. So I feel like it's the right time to release this Conversations with a Killer series, as people are still probably interested in the Jeffrey Dahmer story, so they can lead into this Conversations with a Killer series. There has been so many documentaries about Jeffrey Dahmer. A lot of people know of Jeffrey Dahmer and what he did. When Milwaukee police entered the apartment of 31-year-old Jeffrey Dahmer in July of 1991, they uncovered the grisly personal museum of a serial killer, a freezer full of human heads, skulls, bones, and various states of decomposition and display. This 3-part documentary features never before heard audio interviews between Dahmer and his defense team. So a lot of it is things we've seen before. If you've seen the Dahmer series on Netflix, you will recognize certain clips from this series and certain things that they discuss. If you've seen any other Jeffrey Dahmer series or a documentary series, then you probably know what will happen within here. But what stands out between this series and other series is that audio footage and the conversations between him and his defense team. We hear him describe everything he did. He quickly confessed to 16 murders in Wisconsin over the previous 4 years, plus 1 in Ohio in 1978. When you hear his voice on this series, it's haunting. There's no remorse whatsoever. He's easily able to just describe what had happened, his plans for everything, what he wanted out of all of this, his desires, his deep secrets, everything he just kind of lets go in this documentary series. It's never before heard footage, and it's just disturbing to listen to. That's what separates itself from other series, and they've done this before with John Wayne Gacy and Ted Bundy, so we have things that are similar to those other series. It does get a little bit repetitive with these 3 series. They take these stock footage of this tape and like they're weaving inside the tape as we hear Jeffrey Dahmer's voice. At first it was dramatic, and then they did it again and again and again. It just got a little bit old. They use footage we've seen before, court cases, TV reports on the news, police videos. It's all things we've seen before. So they are using footage that has been on prior documentaries, and they also have interviews between the defense team and lawyers and police officers, victims as well. So there is some things that feel fresh for this documentary series, but there are things that feel repetitive, and it's nothing new when it comes to the case of Jeffrey Dahmer, because he gained national attention in the late 80s, early 90s, Milwaukee, with all of his cases. So we've seen a lot of it play out in other things prior and other documentaries. One aspect that I liked to it, they don't want to be quiet about these victims, and when you look at this case and how the police neglected it and knew that certain things were going on, but then it pushed this case because of race and gender. So he was able to kill several people over several years, and it was overlooked and just not prioritized. And so at the end of the 3rd episode, they discussed the importance of this case and how the police neglected it. And they don't want to forget these names, because by continuing to discuss this case, you can help people moving forward. So I like that aspect of it, and realizing how important this case was and what he did, and but also how the police neglected and didn't prioritize everything. And so it becomes really dramatic and hard to watch when realizing what the police didn't do when it came to Jeffrey Dahmer. So it shines new light on the intersection of race, class, sexuality, and policing that gave rise to one of the most notorious murders of the 20th century. And it's given a lot of time to that and the importance of it, but also weaving in fresh interviews and prior footage that we've seen before. So it's got this nice balance of new and old to it, but listening to his voice, it's haunting, it's chilling to listen to, it's frightening, no remorse whatsoever. We have a court case footage as he is trying to apologize to people, and you just don't believe it for a second. And how he's able to describe everything that he did very easily, piece by piece, and his desires and everything that had happened. There's a second where I just had to like pause and just, do something else because it was so hard to watch. I haven't checked out the Dahmer series, and I don't know if I will. I just try to watch everything as it's released, and if I don't get to it, I probably won't get to it. But this Jeffrey Dahmer series is probably for people who are just binging that Dahmer series and want to know just a little more. This will be for them. So before I give you my score for Conversations with a Killer, the Jeffrey Dahmer Tapes, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie-related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm going to go ahead and give Conversations with a Killer, the Jeffrey Dahmer Tapes, a B. Thank you guys for checking my review for the new Conversations with a Killer, Jeffrey Dahmer Tapes on Netflix. Have you guys seen it by chance? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up-and-coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.